Hello. All right. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Evening.
Good evening, sir. How you doing?
Evening. Yeah, sorry, I hear your trainer is not in class.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm here for us to find solution. I mean, to look for alternative. We can't continue to disappoint you guys like this. This is one too many. So what I'll do is prepare to take you guys from next week. And then, I mean, just look for a way out of this. But I just needed to get some things straight. So I needed to ask questions to know exactly where you are. And so that's why I decided to join you. Now we can interact and then.
Yeah, I think we are the last place, we are rounding up Terraform, I believe. I didn't attend class yesterday, but we're supposed to round up Terraform and then complete a build issue we had with Jenkins, and that was going to be the end of it.
Okay, so let me take note of that. So you completed your AWS, right?
Yeah, I've since like a while ago.
Okay. Did you mention Jenkins? Have you completed DevOps already?
Yes, this is supposed to be the last class. Today was supposed to be the last class, technically. But
okay.
we had not rounded up Terraform, I believe. And then we had an issue with Jenkins when we were trying to build, and we're still troubleshooting that. So we're going to go through those two, I believe. I missed
so basically troubleshooting the issues that you have, and then
I think give a better update because I was not there yesterday.
Yeah, I think for Jenkins, I think our pom.xml file has issues. So he was supposed to source another one that we'll be using, but he was supposed to jump into that after Terraform today. So we started Terraform last weekend, did it yesterday, and we had just pretty much a little bit to round up today, and then jump back into Jenkins again to finish up.
Just to correct the POM file issue.
The POM file issue, yes.
Oh, okay. So it's literally, completed the
yeah, we're at the end.
Oh, okay. Okay, in that case, we just patiently wait for him to complete, because at this point, I mean, we really can't, unless we are talking about doing revision completely and doing something different from how he started, we will just be patient for him to complete, because he already has, I mean, the issue I've always had with a class like this is setting up the infrastructure from scratch. You cannot learn with one set of infrastructure and all of a sudden we put that aside and set up something new. It's not the best way to learn. Okay, so please bear with me on his behalf. Let him come and just have this one last class, and then that'll be it. That'll be May. Okay, you started in May, June, July, August, September. Okay, 5 months. Okay. This 5 months?
This is the 5th month. It was supposed
to be the 5th month. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, okay. We are still on time with the schedule because yours was meant to be 5 months, yeah? Or was it 4 months in your time? Yeah, at the end of the day, supposed to be 4, okay. So sorry about this, because this intermittent delays and lateness to class has really drawn you back. So let's just bear, I mean, we've almost concluded that curriculum, let's just bear with him. Let him come and have this one last class with you guys and then conclude. But the time being, let me give you some very powerful materials that will help you be, of course, we're still going to meet at least for one class, 1, 2 hours or 3 hours class, depending on how interactive the session would be, what questions you ask. Yes, I've asked him to hand you over to me so that we do that last minute, revision, and that is more focused on the real, operations out there as it relates to the kind of questions that recruiters and employers will be asking at interview. For the time being, I have all of that in a document format. It's a whole lot. You don't really have to know everything there, but it's a good guide to preparing for DevOps role. It's a very good guide. The more you can understand and answer those questions according to that format, then the better your chances out there. Okay, so I'll send that to you as compensation for all of these delays. Normally it should be what I read and then pass it across to you without necessarily giving you the material, but I'll give you the materials. And the materials would also come with some email addresses of some key Indian figures in established organizations where they frequently require DevOps engineers. So of course, you use those resources to push your resume. All right, so thankfully you already have the resume, and then if you need me or your trainer is good at it. There's no doubt about that. So many of his trainees, I mean, people that were in classes, his previous classes before yours, they are doing very well employed as DevOps engineer. As for the capability and the requisite site qualification to help you get there, he has it, but it's just his infrequency in class.
What do
All
you
right,
mean
so
by the resources with the Indian?
yeah, the resources, the materials I'm going to send to you now after this meeting, it will have some 10 to 15 email addresses of some key Indian personnel
Okay.
of organizations where they frequently, almost regularly require the services of DevOps engineers. And that's what you'd have become after this training, of course. So yeah, push your resume there.
Okay,
those,
okay, I understand, yeah.
Yeah, using those links. All right, so I'll send that to you. I think that's about the most powerful thing I'll be sending to you now. And then, of course, when we meet, after you are done with class and you are doing your revision, we'll meet again. We'll look for 2 or 3 hours to meet. Then we can look at other areas of the recruitment process that are not covered in those materials. We can look at them. And then, of course, we'll share experiences of how people before you had done it. And then, I mean, just every piece of info that will be helpful to helping you get there after the training. We'll be willing to share in that 2 hours meeting, 3 hours meeting. All right.
Quick questions. If they with these recruiters, if they ask us, oh, you work at the ITern, like what is the ITern, you know? How do you want us to present that? Because
yeah, ITern is what it is, exactly what you have known it to be in the last 4 months of being here with us. All right. So on top of what it is as a training organization, you may also add that we get contract once in a while from organizations, and then we put you on the job.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to make sure that, because that's how I presented. So I just want to make sure.
So basically a consulting firm, right?
Yes, training and consulting.
Training and
depending on the kind of job you're looking for and the kind of employer, some people will be more interested in the training part and then will call me regarding the training. Some will be more interested in the projects that you have claimed on your resume to say, okay, did you actually have this project? What was this person's role? It's just 15 minutes of talk, nothing serious. They would have taken you already. They would have made up their mind they want to hire you. So it's just a rule that they observe that, okay, before you hire somebody, you must at least call one person who has supervised that person.
Okay.
Your job. So nothing serious. So as long as you put us there and they are calling us to say, did this person actually work there? You don't really have much to speak about on behalf of ITern. What you should bother about and be prepared for would be what project did you complete with ITern? So it should be the technical area about how you deploy the CI/CD, what was the result that was ultimately deployed to Kubernetes cluster, and what was your role in that deployment. All right, so the questions would Would be stuff like how did you set up your fresh Kubernetes cluster? On what cloud platform did you set it up? When you had issues like this, how did you deal with it? Or was it just a smooth run from the beginning to the end? Just questions around technical hiccups that you would normally face when you deploy projects like that. So that's what you should be prepared for, not really about what does ITern do. But yes, if you just say ITern is a training and consulting firm, so mainly they train and then once in a while they get consulting jobs and then they put you on the job to practice, not just to practice, to actually deploy in production what you have meant. That would be good enough. That would be good enough.
Okay.
I do have a quick question, sir.
Yeah.
So I'd like to know like how many parts the interviews are divided into, like for the DevOps.
You mean the technical interview for getting job outside class? Did you mean the process of interview for DevOps role?
Yeah, pretty much, but like how many parts? Because like, you know, some interview will have like the, you know, just ask you like randoms, and then like some will also include like the technical part where they might, you know, ask you to maybe like showcase your skills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Every company is different.
It varies. Sorry?
I said every company is different. So
yeah. It varies from company. Yeah, I'm sure he just wants to hear from me.
Gotcha.
I'm sure he just wants to hear from me. I'm sure he has heard it from you guys and from other colleagues. So it varies from company to company. So for some companies, it could be as easy as they've seen your resume. You've had the first round, like the recruiter calling you to say, "Oh, I've seen your resume. Did you really do this? What was your experience in this area? Do you know this? Do you know this?" At that level, it is possible that they already made up their mind that they are going to take you, and they are just looking for you to defend what you claimed already. So it could be as simple as 2-round interviews.
Gotcha.
It could be that simple. But it could also be as complex as 5 rounds of interview. The recruiter calls you, yeah. And then you have the elementary interview stages of an overview of who you are and how your culture, your background, your skill align with the company tradition and culture. And then technical, they drill you technically. Everything you claim you know, apart from Linux, from AWS up to Kubernetes, they want to test you on everything. For example, within AWS, they want to ask you what's S3 bucket. They ask you questions that will reflect your skill and knowledge of S3 bucket, of Route 53, of IAM, instances where you have used these services and this infrastructure. They ask you all of that. And then that may involve doing a presentation just to show that you do really understand not just what they mean in isolated forms, but how they all interact and synchronize together to form the basis of your infrastructure. And then they go on.
By doing the presentation, do we like set up a mini project for them?
No, not at that stage.
Okay.
At that stage, they are just trying to find out if you know what these things really are, as how they work with one another.
So it's more like PowerPoint presentation than showing a project. That's what I was trying to see. Is it going to be like
about the PowerPoint? It's not the PowerPoint is not the important thing. It is the knowledge that you have.
Okay.
The knowledge of S3 bucket, the knowledge of, for example, I'm not strictly S3 bucket, the knowledge of EC2, the knowledge of Route 53. How does Route 53, for example, connect with CloudFront? What's the relationship? What's the difference between setting up a static website on S3 bucket and setting up a dynamic website that is connecting to a back-end database? If you are not going to do all of that using servers and you are using serverless, what's the place of DynamoDB and Lambda? I mean, all of this understanding, everything should harmonize, not in isolation. So that's what they are testing. So whether they are testing that by saying put up a presentation, Amazon would say put up a presentation, but most other companies would just be interested in, and they know what to ask to to find out what they are looking for. So it's not the beauty of the presentation, the logic of the presentation. It's really about, do you understand this concept? And then they go all the way. I mean, for very rigorous interviews, not all of them. You are going for an interview where you have claimed like 7 years and they are looking to pay you like 150, 180, then they expect to be drilled. So it just depends. And then they could go all the way to really focus. The focus would be, all of that will just be preliminaries. The real focus will be on the CICD. You need to know everything at a very, very detailed level, not just the high level. The high level would grant you interview beyond the recruiter. The high level of how you deploy from all the way from using Git command all the way to Bitbucket, through SonarQube, and all the way to, oh, that is beautiful. You will definitely get so many interviews because of your understanding of the high level. But at the detailed level, they want to know exactly what you did at every point. Of course, they don't have 2 hours, 3 hours to ask you all of those questions. In 15 minutes, they want you to give an overview. And then once they recognize a weak point, they want to focus on that weak point. Okay, you said you deployed from Docker in your test environment to Kubernetes in your production environment. Okay, so what happened in between? Was it the same server? If there were different servers, how did you push? You know, questions like that. They really want to focus. And then once they ask you 2, 3 questions and they feel okay, with what you know, we are good. All right, so that is the technical. That part is the technical. It's different from the first part where they just ask you high level about each of those services. So the technical, they will really drill you. At that technical level, that is where you may now need, in fact, not may, you definitely would need to show a project that shows that, look, I'm not a baby in these things. I've actually used these things before. So it's almost compulsory now that you have at least one project in your repository, whether you're using Bitbucket or using GitHub, there should be at least one live project there that you are ready to call to demonstrate that, yes, I have done this thing before, look at it. I did this, I deployed it, look at it, look at the environment. So there must be a project there. All right, so once you're able to, yeah, it doesn't have to be one long project, it's just to demonstrate whatever you are proud of, whatever you feel, I'm impressed by this work. If I show to somebody, they would understand from this little project that I know how Dockers work, I know how Kubernetes work, I know how they, no, once you are convinced, once you convince yourself that this project is good enough, then show it. It doesn't have to be one big project. Remember, all of this interview we are talking about, maximum 1 hour. And in that 1 hour, you are probably talking for only about 30 minutes because they are taking time to explain things from the company's point of view, so that you now see how you fit in, how your knowledge, how your skill fits in. If they don't explain, then you might not be able to see how you fit in. So it's not about the length of the interview and how much you've got to show, but the little time that you have to show, what quality team are you showing? All right, so that would normally be the 4th stage. And then finally, once you pass through that stage, yes, you can now go for the final stage, which is more of a soft skill. So the height of the technical interview is at that level where you need to show your project. If you go through that level, then the rest is soft skill. It's about HR, trying to align your own personal attributes and habits, and like I said, your own person, trying to align all of that with their own company culture. See if they match. And usually they would have given you their, you'd have studied about them, so you know their slogan, what they stand for, social responsibility, you know things about them. So you are able to use those points to your own benefit, to your advantage, to show that, yes, I know this about you. I am born for that. Since I was born, I have been like that. I know this about you. I know that you have done this. Well, I've also in my own little capacity done something similar. So I have been born to serve you. So take me. Yeah. So for the technical person, the most difficult and the height of the interview will be the other one is just about them accepting you for who you are. And you also trying to present yourself like fitting. It's more like looking for a square peg to fit a square hole now. If you were round, you need to present yourself as a square peg so that you can fit their all round hole. All right. And they just use questions about situational, what do they call it now? Situational instances to say, okay, under this situation, when you were, or if you were faced with this kind of situation, what would you do? If you had a customer that did this, what would you do? If you just simple questions. Well, I'm not an expert there. Well, as far as the technical aspect of the interview is concerned, yes, we are poised to give you everything you need to be able to, and including setting up and maintaining a repository, a GitHub account, or a Bitbucket, any of them, containing live projects that you can call at, because it's centrally available, and you can call at any time from anywhere to demonstrate that, yes, I have done this project. That is the most important for technical interview. Yes, so depending on the company, I've had companies that they are just ready. The resume have already convinced them. They just 30 minutes of it, well, maybe 1 hour of interview, and then you get the job. The next thing, you just meet the team members, and then they just interview you. Yeah. So it could be that simple. It could be as simple as a 100K job, 2 interviews. Sometimes 150, 180K job, so many interviews, up to 5. But with the big tech companies, the FANG, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, and all those companies in that league, I mean, it will be 5 stage. All right, did that help?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
5 stage.
One last one from me. So like, for instance, like we can claim, up to like 4, years of experience. So, and if we do that, we can claim all 4 years experience with the iTern, correct?
Yeah, you can. And I mean, you are not the first person. This was going on. With the quality of training, and if you really practice, yes, what you have learned is more than enough to claim 4 years. Because ideally, no one will actually hire you with 2 years experience, or if you say, I just came out of training, I'm looking for a job. No, no. So claim 4 years, but the 4 years you are claiming will be, I mean, the skills you'll be claiming from the 4 years will be within the skill range that we have covered in these 4 or 5 months of training. Yeah, in that case, you don't have any problem. So don't go claim something that you have not done in Linux. Claim only what you have done under Linux. Claim only what you have done under AWS. Don't go claim that you can set up a data center for AWS. No, just what you have done. Yeah. So if you claim only what you have done and you can defend it, nobody will query you for even 5 years, 4 to 5 years. And usually that is like the entry level. By the time you are claiming 10 years like me, the kind of interviews that, for example, I mean, within cloud, not just, we're talking cloud now, we're not just talking IT generally. Yes, so the kind of interview questions that you'll be exposed to will be somewhat more technical, yeah, more rigorous than the 4-year person who is seen as an entry-level person. So it's easier to just get the 100K job, 110, 111K job, and then grow, use that to grow, and then to upgrade to a higher pay job. Yeah, everything you are learning under this curriculum is enough to claim 4 years, maybe 5 years if you already have some IT experience. If you are completely new to IT and this is the first time, 4 years is ideal. That way they are not asking you. That way you are avoiding rigorous interview as much as possible. Yes. Yeah, that's somebody was going to. How many are you in class? Is this the regular number of people in class, or is just that we're not completely? It's not a full class.
I mean, maximum
Usually
is
7.
usually like around 7.
7,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, 7, okay. All right. Yes, I thought somebody was going to ask a question. So yeah, so for those interviews, once you have yeah, it's really important for you guys to have your your repository. I don't want to be specific to GitHub, or just have at least. In fact, the more projects you have in your repository, the better for you. Because for me, as a technical interviewer, if you open your repository and I see different kinds of projects, I see your Terraform project, I see your CloudFormation project, I see all I just need, the questions I'll just be asking will be questions that will convince me that this is your real repository. You did not copy it. Once I'm convinced that this is your repository, I know that you might be nervous under the condition of the interview. Then I know that if you can do this repository on your own when you are not nervous, then you are material for me. I will definitely hire you. You can put at least 4, 5, 6, 7 different projects relating to AWS, to Terraform, to Kubernetes. Put all of them there, and then you are at my interview and you say, give me 1 minute, let me show you what I've done. Because at no point, it is not likely I'm going to ask you to open your repository. All I'm going to ask you is, do you have a demo, something you can show me that you have done to convince me that you really know stuff? So it's now up to you what demo you want to show me. So if at that point you open your repository and you are showing me around and I'm seeing that you are navigating from here to wow, it's a killer for me. So I really encourage you to have that. And if you don't have if you don't know everything it takes to have that kind of repo, maybe by the time we do 2 hours, 3 hours revision, I might be able to give you repos that you can clone and then practice. Once you can clone those repos and you practice them, then it becomes your experience. Then you can claim them. But if you don't practice them, you just copy them from me and you don't practice them, you cannot defend them because you cannot claim the experience. You need to be able to practice, make mistakes, correct the mistakes, go back, go forth. You cannot claim them. At interview, you can confidently open them, because while you are busy going in one direction, trying to impress them in one direction, they could just say, you know what, hold on. What about this other one below? Can you click that? What do you have there? Just to make sure you, like I said, it is your project and not some project you copied from somebody and then just prepared one particular route to convince them. So once they can take you off that route and you are not destabilized, you are still able to answer questions. That's more than good, And remember, we're not talking about a whole day. We're not even talking about 1 hour session of you doing the demo. You barely have up to 15 minutes of demo. 15 minutes out of 1 hour? No, you're not likely. Maybe 5 minutes. Because in that 5 minutes, the way you navigate, the way you move around the project, it tells me that you are in your house. I come to your house and you are in charge, you take me to this room, to that room. If you're in somebody else's house and you are trying to take me around, it's not the same thing. So that's the confidence they want to see that this is your project. And they know that whoever was able to put this project together is an asset to the company. It's very important. If you ever get to that level where, that technical level, stage 3 interview where, no, stage 4. Stage 3, stage 4, depending on the company. Stage 3, stage 4. Stage 1 is the recruiter calling you. Stage 2 is the first round of them preparing you for the real interview, finding out, do you know what AWS is? Have you worked with this before? No, just high level of, do you know this? Do you know this? What platform do you work on? What, okay. Then stage 3 is the real technical interview sometimes. At other times, it could be technical interview facing only one aspect of the so many areas. For example, if you are going for a 300K job, or there was one interview for 330K job, there was 1 hour of just AWS. If you are going for that kind of job, then at your level, Yeah, let's just say, so third level would be, I mean, for interviews that are 5 stages. Fourth level will be technical interview. I mean, third will be technical interview, technical. Everything I talked about, demo, showing us your demo and making the presentation and telling us what you did, that's third level. Then fourth level will now be, is your personality aligned with our tradition, the culture of this company? And then fifth level will be, come and meet our HR, come and negotiate, come and discuss. All right, this is what to pay people at your level. Are you willing to accept it, or do you have another offer that you want to bring to the table so that we can increase your pay? So if Amazon is calling you for negotiation at that fifth level, I think you normally have to go to their head office in Seattle, for example, and then you are going with an Apple or Facebook offer letter. That is the stage where you say, yes, I had an offer from Facebook. They are willing to pay me this, but I prefer to work here. So can you do something for me? All right, so those are the stages. But again, remember that it's not rigidly so. Some interviews are just 2 stages, some are 3 stages, some are 4 stages, but the highest is 5 stages. Yes.
Great points. Thank you.
You're welcome, boy. All right, so we'll still be meeting to look at, when we meet, we'll be looking at those repositories, in fact, basically, I'll be showing you what a typical repository should look like, and then give you access to clone my repository, and then go and practice and make sure you know. They will not be completely new, they will not be strange because you've gone through the training already, but just building on top of what you already know.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ife, how is your training going? Ife, it's like the oldest person here.
Oldest? Okay,
Yes.
yeah, we started in April.
Yeah, you moved. Paul, is this the same Paul that went to Nigeria one time? Did you come back?
Oh, I'm sorry, so I just got back now. Yeah, no, I'm still here. I'm coming back this week.
You are still in Nigeria?
Yes, I'm still here.
Oh, I didn't know you continue with the training, but are you sure you didn't owe me? You know, I took you one class one time. Was it Linux?
No, you never took me any. No, but I started with Uncle Family, so I never
okay.
did a class with you.
Okay. Oh, okay. I know you, Paul. Paul, you are the guy who pays in Naira, right?
That's correct.
Oh, okay. I know Paul. But there used to be another Paul. He was in Linux class and then he traveled. But I'm not sure if he returned before I handed over to him. Okay. I know you. All right. So yeah. Yes. So we appreciate you guys, especially for when you signed up for 4 months at that time, even though it's been, but you not miss anything. Whatever we're giving, whatever, and to be honest, we keep developing ourselves, developing material. And for me now, the material I'm going to share with you now is actually from, IT is not, you just need to be dynamic, and one person cannot know it all. So based on recommendation from one of my past trainings, I actually also went to become a student somewhere where a higher level training company than mine. In fact, a world-class one. So yeah, all of those experiences, I'm bringing them back to you. So I want to share the material, the experiences, whatever it is that would help you stand out there. I want to share it with you. And that's why I keep saying that we need to meet for at least 2-3 hour sessions so that I can share some of this material with you. And because it's IT, once you know the URL where they are, you can always connect to them. And then we'll keep the group on so that when you have issues, you can post. And then the material, so many rich materials, not just from one person this time, not just from me trying to do research and find out things and how to do things by myself, but this time by a bunch of 4, 7, 15 experienced trainers and industry experts and people with 15 years experience, even more experience than me in cloud engineering, not just in IT. So we all put heads together, came up with these materials, and they are so powerful that having access to them will really, really help you compete. It's already out there. So yeah, I'll be sharing all of this.
So, quick question: do you have a date and time set for the meeting with you?
No, what I want to do is let Femi finish this with you guys first. And then I'll come back to the forum and then ask you, and then give you like, give you some time to digest everything.
Okay.
Yeah, give you some time so that by the time we are meeting, we're not talking as colleague DevOps engineers, because you would have gotten your basics right. And then we can just put all of this new, not really knowledge, new experiences on top of what you already know. So that would likely be, in fact, what is likely to be is you complete your training September, take like, tentatively it will be end of September. End of September. So you complete your training, take 2 weeks, 3 weeks to revise everything, then bring your questions to that class, take your questions, and then taking the questions will now be practical, so that we'll use projects to look at the questions and then give you a broader, that's the word, a broader perspective to what you already do. Because like I said, while that perspective was from one man material, we will now be looking at that same subject from the perspective of 15 people coming together to give a broader scope. That same topic, yeah. But it's not going to be something you need to, it's not like a fresh training, no, it's just telling you that this thing you already know actually could actually be broader than how you know it. It can also be applied here, here, here. Just, wow, I didn't know that. Okay, I mean, just broader perspective. And if we have it and we don't share it, then of what use is it? It is you going out there to excel and to get your job. That's what makes us. We want to share as many of those materials with you as your brain can accommodate. But sometimes it can be overwhelming just pushing all the materials away. So we want to filter the really, really useful ones and then push them to you. All right, so the one I'll be sending right away is for DevOps interview. I'll send, I think let me send one first. I'll send that one. I think it's about 200-page document of possible questions and answers that are related to DevOps engineering.
Is it 200 pages?
Yes, scary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? Yes, guys, any more questions? All right, so once again, sorry for Katrina not being here today. So what we'll do is use that material to compensate. And then we'll let him finish next week. And then we have the other following 2 weeks to practice. And then we'll come back end of September also. We'll have the last session and then do our graduation ceremony and then send you forth to go grab your job.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, guys. All right, thank you. That's it for today then. Talk to you on the forum if you have any issues that you want to.
Thank you, sir. Have a good weekend.
All right, you too, guys. Bye.